Who doesn't want a free lunch in life? Well, what if you could pay for lunch with your fingerprint? Would you surrender your fingerprint for the chance to eat? That's the plan in the LAUSD. Instead of paying for lunch with a charge card or cash, the new system involves taking the print of one finger per student and linking that print to a numeric code that stays with the student throughout their academic career. It's simply more efficient. Opponents say turning over your fingerprint could violate student privacy and risk the misuse of biometric information. School officials say there are checks and balances in place to prevent that. Fingerprints for lunch. Are you in, Charlotte?
I'm out. I think it's a terrible idea. I think it's a scary idea. Not only is there actually a small trace of radiation that you're going to get from in the finger, but I think it could easily fall into the hands of law enforcement. I can see a scenario where there's a murder in a school, there's a fingerprint left on a weapon. They say, oh, we need to check the cafeteria database. They find the criminal. Everybody goes, oh, wow, that was successful. And then you've got a slippery slope. And then next time it's a theft, and then you're checking that database. And way down the road, what do you have? You have a whole bunch of poor public school students with their fingerprints in a huge database and a whole bunch of wealthy private school students with no fingers in a database. And so you have, you know, surveillance of the poor. You have a greater divide between the rich and the poor. I see great problems with it. And I also see that we're teaching our kids too much that their privacy doesn't matter. And I know with the internet, things have gone crazy, but eventually there's going to be a day of reckoning, and they're going to start wanting, people are going to want to reel back that information, and they're not going to be able to. It's going to be too late.
Yeah, okay, but Megan, for those who like the idea, they say this just speeds up the process, and it's simple, and really nobody gets hurt. What do you think?
Well, like one child put it, it might speed up the process, but it doesn't change the taste of the food. I have a real problem with LAUSD actually preaching efficiency and fiscal responsibility when they just supported a $530 million high school, and they're furloughing teachers, and they produce a 49% graduation rate. I don't think they really are the, the shining example of fiscal responsibility or efficiency. I don't agree with this. Criminals should be fingerprinted, not students.
All right. I think that pretty much sums up both of your feelings on that. Here we go to the last one. This is something we don't talk about. Not often. Not on TV. It's your sex life. How is it? Are you fulfilled? Are you satisfied? Why must we talk about this? Former Surgeon General Jocelyn Elder says, our society is sexually dysfunctional, and we must address sex as a positive source of pleasure and health. So, some interesting stats in the latest survey from the Journal of Sexual Medicine. The majority of 14 and 15-year-olds are not having sex. That number is 1 in 10. The survey also indicated 79% of older teenage boys use condoms. If teenagers are going to have sex, that's good news. Then there was this. 64% of women reported they achieve an orgasm, while 85% of men thought their partner had achieved an orgasm. That would indicate there's some faking going on here. How often do you think that happens, Megan?
Why do I get this fun question to start off with? Well, you know, one of my favorite movies is When Harry Met Sally, and Meg Ryan, you know, proved that point about faking an orgasm pretty clearly and pretty effectively. Jocelyn Elder, she was fired by the Clinton administration as Surgeon General, and I don't really know where she comes up with this society is sexually dysfunctional. I'm not really sure what she bases that on. It seems like we're talking about sex more and more. We're talking about different types of sex more and more, whether it be, you know, between a man and a woman, group sex, what have you. We also see more commercials on TV about sexual dysfunction. If I see another Viagra commercial or the commercial with 2 people in the bathtub, you know, it's always on TV. So I don't really know where she bases this. But the fact that women fake it, absolutely. We got to keep you guys at least, you know, somewhat, you know, in the dark, while in the dark.
So you're suggesting that the survey stats are accurate. Would that be fair?
I would say that they're probably, accurate, but I don't know about the whole sexual dysfunction that Jocelyn Elder's claims.
All right, Charlotte, what do you think?
Yeah, I would say that the 85, 64% is probably pretty accurate.
Do you agree with Megan on that?
Well, I mean, I don't think faking it is keeping guys in the dark. I think it's actually considered sort of a kindness. It's kind of like when a man says to a woman, oh, you look really thin in that outfit. It's the same kind of a thing. But there's some interesting statistics, not only in this study, but in other studies I found. The average person's first sexual encounter is at age 17, and by age 23, 90% of people have already had sex. But I would like to give some advice to parents out there, because I have a different point of view on your child, for example, your daughter going out with an older guy, which a lot of parents are against.
You have 14 seconds, Charlotte. Go ahead.
I think it's a lot safer, because older men are not as aggressive sexually. They're tired. So let your daughters go out with a guy who's 20 years older. It's not a big deal. It's actually better than if they go out with an 18-year-old guy.
Let them go out with let them go out with older guys. They're tired. They need a nap. Good logic, Charlotte. I like that. Well done.
A guy should know the difference between a fake orgasm and a real orgasm. That's all I can say.
All right. Charlotte and Megan, I know neither one of you were faking tonight. You were on your game. Thank you both very much.
Thanks.
He takes no prisoners, and he wouldn't want it any other way. The man who is shaking up City Hall when we come back.
If you're so smart, prove it. Contact NBC Filter on Twitter or Facebook, or send an email to thefilter@nbcuni.com. We care what you think, but if we don't like it, we'll filter you.